The commencement exercises of the University of Washington will be opened with a presentation of the colors by the Joint ROTC Color Guard and with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner by Amy Payden, a graduate school student in music. The audience will please rise.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Before we call upon President Huntsman to preside over these ceremonies, it is my pleasure to introduce Gerald Grinstein, President of the Board of Regents, for a special recognition.
This is a ceremony of celebration. It marks ends and beginnings. So I would like now to pay a brief and therefore inadequate tribute on behalf of the Board of Regents and our entire university community to President Lee Huntsman, who will participate in his last commencement ceremony today before stepping down from his post. Dr. Huntsman arrived at the university in 1968 to join the new bioengineering faculty. He has given his entire professional life, a life of extraordinary distinction and achievement, to this university. Under his leadership, UW Bioengineering became one of the most highly ranked departments in the nation. He went on to serve as Associate Dean for Scientific Affairs in the School of Medicine, and then became Provost of the university, ushering in a period of extraordinary innovation in our academic programs. In November 2002, the Regents asked Dr. Huntsman to serve as president. He stepped into the office without missing a beat, unlike me, and he has given us active, skillful, forward-looking leadership at a time when that was essential. The university could have stood still or worse, but during this extended interim period, it did not. Instead, it has gained momentum and added strength, and we owe that to Lee Huntsman. To recognize all that he has been and done for the University of Washington, the Regents, at their meeting yesterday, conferred upon him the title of President Emeritus. Lee is brilliant, he is also deeply humane, good company, possessed of an unassuming, instinctive integrity, and wholly dedicated to the welfare of the University of Washington. For us as Regents, it has been a joy to work with him over these past 18 months, and we will miss him. Please join me in saying a heartfelt thank you to President Lee Huntsman.
It is now my pleasure to present Dr. Lee Huntsman, President of the University of Washington, who will preside over these exercises.
Welcome. Welcome to the 129th Commencement Ceremony of the University of Washington. Commencement ceremonies are an expression of academic traditions going back hundreds of years, and they symbolize some of the most fundamental values of our civilization, most particularly the pursuit of truth, the preservation of freedom, and the cultivation of a climate of civility. These ceremonies are also festive, celebrating the commencement of new activities and challenges in the lives of graduates, as well as the successful completion of one phase of their formal education. The diversity of this university is almost as remarkable as its distinction, and the graduates today are completing academic courses of study which reflect the complexity of this society and of the intellectual concerns of our faculty and students. I'm honored, therefore, to be the first to congratulate formally the degree and award recipients and to welcome all of you to this ceremony. These graduates should be very proud of themselves, and I know that all the rest of us are very proud of them. It's appropriate, therefore, that we all stand up, everyone, and including the graduates, and applaud the class of 2004. And now I think the graduates should applaud their families and friends who have supported them through these years. Please be seated. Some statistics may be of interest to you. Over the last academic year, more than 7,100 students have earned a bachelor's degree, and almost 10,700 new degrees overall have been awarded. Most of these new degrees are divided almost evenly between men and women. Women have a slight edge in bachelor's and master's degrees. Men have a slight edge in MDs and PhDs. Somewhat larger gaps are seen in other areas. 57% of the new lawyers are women. 65% of the new dentists are men. Approximately 4,400 of the graduates are participating in the ceremony today, and many others have participated in separate ceremonies in various schools and colleges, and some are doing both. We're very pleased to have you and your families and friends here. The ultimate responsibility for the university lies with the members of the Board of Regents. They are 10 citizens of the state who are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. These dedicated men and women serve without pay and devote many hours to each year to the welfare of the university. 7 of our regents are with us today, and I'd like to introduce them at this time. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. They are Gerald Grinstein, President; Jeffrey H. Brotman, Vice President; Ark G. Chin; Daniel J. Evans; Sally Jewell; Constance L. Proctor; and Shelley Yap. Please recognize our Board of Regents. In addition to the regents, we have seated on the platform this afternoon the chief academic and administrative officers of the university, including the provost, whom you will meet in a moment, the vice presidents, the deans of the schools and colleges, who will be introduced in due course, the leadership of the faculty senate, the elected student leadership on campus, the president of the Alumni Association, and faculty members, professors emeriti, and other representatives from the various schools, colleges, and departments of the university. I would also like to acknowledge the many members of the faculty serving today as commencement marshals. Their names are listed on page 11 of the commencement program. Now I'd like to offer a few remarks to the graduates. The view from this end of Husky Stadium on commencement day never fails to lift my spirits and stir my hopes. You look terrific, and by all that I know about you, you are terrific, and you're wonderfully varied in many ways. Some of you have been academic stars since kindergarten. Others of you are here on a second or third chance and have made the most of it, brilliantly in many cases. Some of you are following proud family traditions as Huskies, and others are creating traditions by earning the very first degree in your families. Some of you have known for years that you would end up in medicine or history. Others have followed paths and found passions here that you couldn't possibly have imagined. One of the things I love most about this university is the sheer range of its students. We are a public institution with students from every corner of the state, not to mention the nation and the world, from every walk of life, and with every conceivable kind of dream and ambition. And in that, we should all rejoice. We like to think that we change lives here. I believe we do. But one of the most striking things about today's graduates is how much the world itself has changed while you were here. Suppose you arrived at the UW 5 years ago. Think back a moment to September of 1999. The economy, both local and national, was in overdrive. Jobs were abundant. Dot-com millionaires were everywhere, and the stock market seemed to have forgotten how to go down. Boeing was still at home in Seattle. Corporate CEOs were heroes. Bill Clinton was president. Many people actually walked around this campus without a cell phone in their ear. On TV, Friends was going strong. In New York, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center stood tall. Few people had ever heard of Kandahar or Fallujah. We don't live in that world anymore. And while we might hope that there be no more traumas on the scale of 9/11, we cannot expect the world to be any more stable in the next 5 years than it has been in the last. What we have tried to give you here are the tools to navigate in a time of change. Those tools have many shapes. The insights learned from literature and philosophy, the know-how of engineering or law, the skilled compassion of social work, the scientist's drive to understand the natural world, and so on, through all the rich kinds of learning that you've encountered here. And beyond the separate pieces of knowledge, some of which will be obsolete before your first reunion, we have tried to give you the full and true possession of your own minds. Now, more than ever, society has essential and exciting work for good minds. In a turbulent world, your education, your youth and energy, and your idealism may have an impact sooner than you expect. In case you haven't noticed, your elders don't have all the answers, either practical or moral. So plunge in. Look for the opportunities inherent in change. Look for the chance to be contributors and leaders. Use the tools that we've helped provide. And please, sustain the values that we share, a commitment to integrity and a dedication to work that is larger than oneself. Your friends, your teachers here will be watching proudly as you make your way and as you amplify the University of Washington's engagement in the world. Now I'd like to introduce Eric Gonzalez to present the class gift. Edgar is graduating today with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications. Edgar chaired the Senior Gift Council, thanks to whose leadership the senior class has made this wonderful early start in philanthropy.
Holy cow, there was a lot of you out there. Well, my name is Edgar Gonzalez, and I stand here today to congratulate you and also to present the gift of President Huntsman on behalf of our class. This is an exciting day for all of us, and I commend each and every one of you for getting here. Graduating from this university is not an easy thing, and you should all be very proud of yourselves. As many of you know, the senior class gift is the Senior Class Endowed Scholarship. This endowment was created by the Senior Class Gift Council and is a need-based scholarship for future seniors. Grants and financial aid and scholarships are a lot harder to come by as a senior. I know this from experience. And this scholarship is aimed at helping out those students finish out their degrees without having to incur very spendy loans or having to work full-time to afford school. Again, I must turn to congratulate you, because your response and your belief in what we've done here has helped us to raise over $37,000 and create the class of 2004 endowed scholarship. And by the way, $37,000 is the most that any class has ever raised at the University of Washington. Also, the Washington State Cougars decided to challenge us to see whose senior class could raise the most money. And because of your support, we easily won the Husky Cougar Challenge, much like the past decade of Apple Cups. The bottom line is that the class of 2004 endowed scholarship was a great success because of all of you. All right, it's kind of windy up here. So now we're done. No more homework, no more papers, no more midterms, no more finals. Time flew by, didn't it? Well, I hope all of you can look back at your time at UW and at least take with you one fond memory. Whether it be a great professor you had, a true friend you've made, or maybe jumping into Drumheller Fountain at 2 in the morning. What I take with me are the great friendships I've built here, of course, the great education, and the experience of being the chair of the Senior Class Gift Council. It was truly remarkable to see how small gifts can truly make a difference in another student's life. As you go forth with your lives, I ask you to look back and remember the great times you had at UW. And if you're ever in a position to give back, please do it. It is one of the most rewarding feelings I've ever had. All right, so this is the part of the commencement speech when the speaker offers a lot of cliche advice for the future. But I'm only 21, so I'm going to give you a little more practical advice. Now that college is over, milk crates, pizza boxes, and coolers are not furniture. So go out and pick some up. I'm going to end with a quote that my mom used to always tell me when I was growing up. She said, "Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are." And today, I'm proud to walk with you and be a member of the class of 2004. And now, President Huntsman, I present you with the names of all the contributors to the class of 2004 scholarship.
On behalf of the University of Washington, I accept this gift, these names, with thanks and pride. Thank you, class of 2004. Now all of you have a share in the university's future. The Chief Academic and Budget Officer of the university is Acting Provost David Thorud, who will present this year's Teaching and Public Service Awards.
Affirming the university's dedication to teaching excellence, the university each year presents teaching awards to faculty and to graduate teaching assistants. 8 University of Washington professors and 2 graduate students with teaching responsibilities have been selected to receive awards this year. I will ask them to rise and remain standing until all are introduced as I mention their names. And please hold your applause until all are standing. Thank you. The recipients of the Distinguished Teaching Awards are David G. Allen, Professor of Psychosocial and Community Health, Stephen E. Hansen, Associate Professor of Political Science, Elizabeth Cooper, Associate Professor of Dance, Teresa Evans Campbell, Assistant Professor of Social Work, and Ann Baker, Senior Lecturer in Philosophy. Selected by a committee of faculty, students, and alumni, these honorees were cited for superior mastery of their disciplines, their ability to transmit knowledge, their scholarship, and their concern for students. The recipient of the Marcia L. Landel Distinguished Graduate Mentor Award is Ramonda Modiano, Professor of English and Comparative Literature. The recipient of the S. Sterling Monroe Public Service Teaching Award is the late James D. Klaus, who was Associate Director of Comparative History of Ideas Program. The recipient of the new James D. Klaus Award for the Advancement of Learning Communities is Eugene Edgar, Professor of Special Education. The recipients of the Excellence in Teaching Awards are Lance Rhodes, Teaching Assistant in Comparative Literature, who could not be here this afternoon, and Brett Teruyo Yamamoto, Teaching Assistant in Geography. We are proud of our teaching faculty and honor these recipients receive today is especially precious, the honor they receive is especially precious to a member of the academic community. Please join me in applauding these exceptional teachers. The university also presents an award in recognition of outstanding public service on the part of a university faculty or staff member. This year's recipient is Dr. Millie L. Russell. Dr. Russell came to the university after a 20-year career at the King County Central Blood Bank as a research technologist and educator. We invited her here to teach preparatory courses for minority students interested in the health sciences. Since 1982, she has been both a lecturer in biology and an assistant to the Vice President for Minority Affairs. Over her long career, Dr. Russell's day jobs have flowed seamlessly into community service equal to another unpaid full-time job. She helped found and lead several organizations dedicated to bringing more African Americans into science, such as Black Churches in Science. In the late 70s, she organized a minority scholarship fund for the UW Dentistry School. She co-founded the University of Washington's Multicultural Alumni Partnership, which helps recruit and mentor minority students. She has worked on projects or been a consultant for organizations from the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center to the NAACP. Wherever science, education, and minority or disadvantaged communities intersect, Dr. Russell has been there with creative ideas and dedicated work. She has also been a personal mentor and inspiration to innumerable young people. Millie Russell's name lights up faces all over this region. For the sense of mission she has brought to her work with young minority students, for the opportunities she has opened up for them through her talent, energy, warmth, and devotion, for her special dedication to diversifying science, and for years of effort freely given, the university commends Dr. Millie Russell.
Since 1932, we have presented a medal to the graduating senior who has achieved the most distinguished academic record at the university. This year, for the first time, we are presenting two awards. One medal is given to a student who has completed at least 3/4 of his or her degree requirements at the university. The other given to a student who entered the university with at least 60 transfer credits from a Washington community college. Will Tan Hong Marie Ung please come forward? Marie grew up in Hong Kong and came to the university in 2000, the first member of her family to go to college. Despite being, as in her own words, completely overwhelmed at first, she had a clear goal: to turn her fascination with human behavior into a degree in psychology. Along the way, she has discovered a love also for math and philosophy, and she is minored in both. She has done laboratory research every year, not only here, but also in summer programs in Hong Kong, at Columbia, and at the University of Pennsylvania. For the last 2 years, she's been part of a joint psychology and neurosurgery research team that is working to link the behavior of single brain cells to the behavior of entire organisms. Grades are not the sole determinant of this award. The selection committee looks at other things as well, such as the number of honors and upper division courses, but grades are important. Marie is graduating with a grade point average of 3.97. She has been a member of the university's honors program and has been on the dean's list continuously. She's received both leadership and research grants from the Mary Gates Endowment, has served as a teaching assistant, and has volunteered at the UW Medical Center and elsewhere. She is also a violinist and a pianist and has played with both the university's symphony and a campus mariachi band. Marie is graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology, and this fall she will go on to the University of Southern California to begin doctoral studies in psychology. It is my pleasure to present you, Marie, this medal in recognition of your outstanding achievement at the university. Will Anna Lynn Forti please come forward? Anna is a native of Zillow, Washington, and came to us from Yakima Valley Community College. She had her sights set on the UW even before high school. But it was in community college that she became hooked, as she says, on cell biology. Here she has pursued that interest avidly in both the classroom and in the research lab. For the last 2 years, she's done genetics research in the laboratory of Dr. Stanley Fields, studying the interactions of proteins. She has also been an ambitious student of Spanish throughout her years here. 2 summers ago, she brought science and Spanish together when she spent 10 weeks in Quito, Ecuador, as an undergraduate fellow in the Multidisciplinary International Research Training Program. Anna is graduating with a University of Washington grade point average of 3.99. She has made every annual Dean's List, has been a Mary Gates Scholar, and for 2 years has been a volunteer teaching English as a second language to Hispanic immigrants. She is also a member of the UW's Women in Science and Engineering program. She's graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in cell and molecular biology. Anna's goal is to work as a family physician with Hispanic populations and also to be involved in public health research, education, and administration. This fall, she will begin medical school here at the UW. It's my pleasure to present you, Anna, this medal in recognition of your outstanding achievements at the University of Washington. At this time, I would also like to recognize those students who were candidates for the President's Medals by virtue of their academic performance in the top 0.5% of all graduating seniors in their respective colleges. These students, along with the President's Medalists, are today graduating with the university's highest baccalaureate honor, summa cum laude. Their names are listed on page 15 of the commencement program. Also listed are the names of students who are graduating magna cum laude and cum laude. Since 1938, the University and the Alumni Association have presented an award to former University of Washington student whose work has attained national or international prominence. The Alumna Summa Laude Dignata Award, which means alumna worthy of the highest praise, is the highest honor bestowed by the university. The recipient is selected by a committee of university faculty and alumni. It gives me great pleasure today to add to the long and distinguished list of individuals who have received this award the name of Bonnie J. Dunbar, a NASA astronaut who has made outstanding contributions to space science and engineering. Bonnie Dunbar grew up on a farm near Sunnyside, Washington, where she dreamed early of being an astronaut. When she came to the UW in 1967, there were only 9 women in her freshman engineering class. But she found her way into space engineering. As a student of Professor James Muller, who held research contracts from NASA, she helped develop ceramic tiles to protect the space shuttle during re-entry. After earning UW bachelor's and master's degrees in ceramic engineering, Bonnie headed the development of the shuttle heat shields at Rockwell International. In 1978, she joined the Johnson Space Center, and 3 years later, she became one of the first female astronauts. She also earned a PhD at the University of Houston. Dr. Dunbar has made 5 space flights, totaling 796 orbits of the Earth, more than any other female astronaut. On her first flight in 1985, she was the first woman to be put in charge of the Space Lab and its experiments. In 1995, she was part of the first U.S. space mission to dock with the Soviet spaceship Mir. Dr. Dunbar has been a leader in space research and engineering. She has especially advanced our knowledge of how the human body adapts to low gravity, knowledge that will also improve health here on Earth. In 1993, Dr. Dunbar was voted Engineer of the Year by Design News magazine. In 2000, she was inducted into the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. And in 2002, she was elected to the National Academy of Engineering. Today, as Assistant Director of the Johnson Space Center, she is the highest ranking woman at that center. For a lifetime of leadership in space science and engineering, and for her inspiring role as a pioneer for women, her alma mater, with pride and admiration, honors Bonnie Dunbar as its 2004 Alumna Summa Laude Dignata. The University of Washington Alumni Association plays a vital role in the life of the university and provides a continuing link between our graduates and their alma mater. The association also provides essential support for the university. I'm very pleased to introduce Don Williams, President of the UW Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dr. Huntsman. On behalf of the University of Washington alumni around the world, I congratulate you, the class of 2004. From this day forward, you are UW alumni. You join the ranks of more than 300,000 alumni all across the globe. This will always be your university, no matter where you are or what you do. You are the lasting part of what makes this university one of the best in the nation. And your UW experience isn't over yet. Believe me, as alumni, you will always be part of the University of Washington community. It's a connection that lasts a lifetime. Call it an open-ended invitation from your alma mater. Your university will always be here for you, and your alumni association will always be here for you, because you're going to be forever a Husky. And Huskies help Huskies. For career sport and networking contacts, you can always contact your alumni association. For fun events and lifelong learning opportunities, you can always count on your alumni association. If you're trying to find a fellow classmate, contact the Alumni Association. I encourage you to take advantage of all the UW Alumni Association has to offer with your membership. No matter where you are, there's always something in it for you. Your Alumni Association works for you. As a member of your association, you have an open future for the generations of UW students. Your membership actually helps with scholarships, just like your class project was. Your connection to the UW lasts a lifetime. Your membership in the association makes a real difference to the entire university family. During your years as a UW alum, I hope you'll always remember that you're a valued part of the university. I encourage you to join the proud Huskies around the world and stay connected. Again, congratulations and best wishes.
Student government is an important component of the governance of this institution, and its leadership is called upon regularly to represent student views on a wide range of issues at the university. I'm pleased to introduce the President of the Graduate and Professional Student Senate, Julia Harrison.
Hi. When we gather for celebrations such as this, I think it's inevitable that at some point our thoughts also turn to those people who can't be with us for one reason or another. And the person who's most on my mind right now is the late Dean of the Graduate School, Marcia Landolt. I think it's one of the marks of a truly great mentor that you continue to learn from them even when they're not still around. And appropriately, Marcia's memorial service introduced me to something new, a quotation from Robert Heinlein, of all people, a quotation that she was particularly fond of and had kept on her computer for about a decade. This is the quotation. "A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization is for insects." I don't even know what some of these activities are. Con a ship, totally beyond me, and I could probably only do about 6 of them. I'll let you decide which 6 of those that I can do. Balancing accounts is not one of them. But I think the essential question that Heinlein asks is a really good one for all of us who are graduating today, myself included. Am I an insect or am I a human being? Taken on face value, that piece of paper that you will receive today, assuming of course that you've paid your library fines and assuming that they don't all blow away before you get up here on stage, that piece of paper categorizes you. You are an astrophysicist. You are an actor. I am an artist. Yeah, artists. All very great achievements. But a focus on the qualification itself is a limited and limiting understanding of your education. You'll probably put the degree on your office wall, on the shelf, in a file, and that's fine. But there are so many other things that you've learned at the University of Washington that you carry around with you all the time. A network of friends and colleagues, in-depth knowledge of a range of subjects, and the intellectual equipment that can be used to mine more such knowledge. Use these tools. They open up so many possibilities for you. You don't know how to butcher a hog? No problem. One of your friends from your freshman dorm could probably help you out. You need to design a building? Apply something that you learned from your art history survey class or from physics. Of course, Heinlein's list is probably not for everyone. So when you leave school, I hope that you will give yourself assignments. Decide what qualifications you think a human being should have, and use every contact, every theory, every fact, every tool at your disposal in order to earn those qualifications. Congratulations and thank you.
I am pleased now to introduce the President of the Associated Students of the University of Washington, Brittany Goodnight.
Good afternoon, family, friends, and graduates. Today we sit 4,400 students strong, ready to graduate from the University of Washington. Of those 4,400, we come from diverse backgrounds and varying educational perspectives. Some will be the first to earn a college degree in their family. Others are third-generation college students. Some of us have taken a traditional 4 to 5 route through college, while others have had a more lengthy adventure. And even more will graduate today with graduate and doctorate degrees and are far more qualified to be on this stage than myself. Even with such differences, however, there are several things that unite us. The first is the gratitude we owe to those who helped get us here today. We owe considerable thanks to family and friends that have supported and guided us through our academic careers. And we owe thanks to the faculty, staff, and administration at the University of Washington who've made our academic success possible. On behalf of the graduating class of 2004, thank you all. There we go. Beyond our gratitude, we are united in our joint opportunity, privilege, and responsibility of being degree holders. With high demand, limited access, and decreasing state funds, it has been a privileged time to be at the University of Washington. With this opportunity that we have today, we have the responsibility to ensure that our siblings and the next generation have this same privilege, and that although we might be done with higher education, that it is not far from our hearts or our wallets. Although we are now free of responsibilities as students, we must fully embrace our responsibility as citizens. We are a new generation that belongs to each other and belongs to our time, pushing relentlessly to reshape the world to our vision. In the past 4 years at the University of Washington, we have seen incredible changes in our world. Our educational experience has had the backdrop of September 11th, 2 US-led wars, 2 Patriot Acts, and currently a potential draft. The burden is on us now as the next educated generation to lead the world, or simply to be more responsible actors in it. We will interact in our ever-expanding, diverse marketplace of ideas, one which is in need of critique, dialogue, and reflection. Regardless of your academic discipline or intended career path, in order to find and enact answers that will positively change society, we must be questioning existing activities and institutions. We are leaders that can reshape the current state of domestic and world affairs. But to do this, we must be responsible and engaged citizens and keep our eyes, our minds, and our hearts open. Although our career pursuits will differ, we are united through a collective voice and can be empowered through our vote. Research shows that only 68% of college-age students vote. This is an appalling statistic, considering that we are the group that has the privilege of higher education. We must change this. We must take the energy that we are feeling today and remember it in the polls in November. To be the change that we want to see in the world, we must exercise our democratic right. It is time to take a collective stand. Help me vote for change in 2004. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2004. Enjoy this moment and remember the energy and enthusiasm that you're feeling now as you take your next steps. And remember that we are the leaders in the movement to revolutionize the world. Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys.
This afternoon's commencement speaker is August Wilson, a playwright who has twice won the Pulitzer Prize for his powerful depictions of African American life in the 20th century. Mr. Wilson grew up in the Hill District of Pittsburgh, where all but one of his plays are set. He loved language, even as a child, and wrote poetry before discovering his vocation as a playwright. In 1984, he burst upon the New York theater scene with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, a play suffused with the music of the blues. Ma Rainey and the plays that followed, Fences, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, The Piano Lesson, and 5 others, have won numerous prizes and become staples of contemporary American theater. Each one portrays African American life in a different decade of the 20th century. Mr. Wilson, who now lives in Seattle, is at work on the 10th and final play of the series. In recognition of Mr. Wilson's artistry and achievements, the university is today conferring upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Arts. Recipients of honorary degrees are not graduates of this university, but they are honored by our faculty and our regents for their outstanding accomplishments. Mr. Wilson, will you please join me at the lectern? August Wilson, magician of the theater, you have conjured up on stages all across this country the lived experiences of African Americans over the last 100 years. From the words and rhythms of Black urban speech, you have made dramatic poetry. In the streets and the kitchens and backyards of your native Pittsburgh, you have found stories that reach back to Southern and African roots and look ahead to questions of African American identity in a changing world. In lives of hardship and exclusion, you have shown us luminosity and feeling, strong individuality, and a tenacious grip on dreams, sometimes tragic, sometimes comic, always compelling. For 20 years, since Ma Rainey's Black Bottom won prizes and national acclaim on Broadway, your work has been at the forefront of American drama. Two of your plays, Fences and The Piano Lesson, have won the Pulitzer Prize. Tony Awards and New York Drama Critic Awards have come as thick and as fast as the plays themselves. In 1999, President Clinton presented you with a National Humanities Medal. In 2001, Time magazine called you the foremost American stage voice of your generation. Your grand project has been to explore, to illuminate, to mourn, and to celebrate the ways Black people have lived in this country in each decade of the 20th century. Your plays have vividly portrayed the costs of being Black in America. They have also portrayed the humor, shrewdness, rage, love, and pride that transcend racial barriers. Your characters seek a place to stand in the world, a special song to sing, a meaning and a use for the past. As in all great art, they show us what it is to be human. For your equal devotion to artistry and truth, for the grand sweep of your vision of African American experience, and for giving dramatic life to stories we cannot forget, the University of Washington is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Arts, honoris causa.
Mr. President, Regents, honored guests, distinguished faculty, parents, loved ones, and graduating class of 2004. I am honored to stand here in the stead of any number of people who labor every day in the vineyards to bring America closer to the ideals so clearly expressed as part of our national will and purpose. I am honored to join you today as you commence with the responsibility for your own lives. We have all gathered here from whatever walks of life, from whatever our personal circumstance, from whatever distance. We have traveled by plane and train and car and bus and taxi and foot. We have all come here today to celebrate your accomplishments. You are in the flush of abundance, an abundance of energy, passion, idealism. You are in the flush of intelligence and the flush of youth. You have all, each in your own way, responded to a challenge to gain the confidence of your teachers and to take your place among this assembly today. Your presence here as flower and fruit is a testament to your parents, their work, their dedication, their sacrifices, and their belief in your talents and their unlimited possibilities. Now, they want to see you blossom and prosper. They want to see you stand up before the whole world, declare your maturity, and take your place on the global stage. And that all of your energies be rewarded with the highest of possibilities of life is their best hope for you. As I look out over the audience, I see that some of you are the rear guard of a people who arrived in America searching for freedom from political and religious oppression. And some of you are the rear guard of a people who arrived in America seeking opportunity. And some of you, like myself, are the rear guard of a people who arrived in America chained and malnourished in the hold of a 350-ton Portuguese, Dutch, or British vessel. And some of you have been in America long before any of us. We have all shared a common history as Americans. Most of us can trace our ancestry back to a ship's log or airline manifest. We are all a testament to the strength of the American character and a testament to the resiliency of the human spirit. We are part of a long line of people who set out through an unknown landscape, complete with false trails, forked roads, a landscape of impossible cartography, sometimes, in the words of Langston Hughes, going in the dark where there ain't no light. We are part of a long line of people who have wrestled the meaning of the word American from sometimes stubborn and unyielding realities and have learned to wear it and embrace it with a love worthy of its complexity. To stand and sit here now is to occupy the ground that they have pioneered, heroes and scoundrels alike. Out of the rubble of our deeds and misdeeds, out of our historic circumstance, we have arrived at this moment in our history as a nation of our own making, our own heroics, and our own failures. I wanted to come here today to encourage you to have a belief in yourself that is larger than anyone's disbelief. I wanted to talk to you about how your talent, your truths, your belief in yourself are all in your hands, and what you make of it will emerge from the self in a baptismal spray that names and defines. I wanted to talk about those things, but there is a greater urgency that commands our attention. We have turned the corner of the 21st century. Our prosperity is not guaranteed. Our freedom and our survival are not guaranteed. We live in a global community where the majority of our fellow human beings in Africa, South America, the West Indies, Asia, and the Middle East are at the bottom of a social system that leaves them chained to a cycle of poverty and oppression, where the life expectancy is sometimes less than 50 years. The yearly per capita income is in the hundreds of dollars, the housing is substandard, and the infant mortality rates are staggering. At home, we are engaged in a war that robs us of our energies and steals from our national treasury. That it is a war based on false premise and carried out with escalating misconduct and protracted deception is not our immediate concern. A more pressing matter is that the foundations upon which this country has stood from its inception is in danger of crumbling from assaults upon its principles and the articles that guarantee our liberties. Two, 228 years ago, an insurgent band of colonial subjects of King George, responding to a tyranny that reached across the Atlantic and citing a long list of grievances, declared their independence from the crown. They envisioned a nation unlike any other, in which every citizen had equal rights to property, equal protection under the laws, and the inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of their own happiness. They envisioned a true democracy governed with the consent of the governed. This nation came into being with that declaration. Its resolve was tested on the battlefield from which it emerged victorious. It was not easy. The courage and bravery of these early patriots, their willingness to die to secure liberty, were the first marks on the American character. With sacrifice, tenacity, and irreproachable sense of honor, and high and moral purpose, they emerged from that war united in a loose confederation of states. But they wanted a more perfect union. So, upon full investigation and mature deliberation, in the words of George Washington, they drew up the Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the United States, not we the politicians, not we the corporations, we the people. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, of all the great principles and ideals, having the grace of poetry and with the dizzying power of his blinding light, justice stands alone. It is the very foundation upon which the house is built. Without justice, the house falls down. Without justice, you cannot have peace. Without peace, you cannot have prosperity. The founding fathers understood that. All of their learned experience had taught them that the country that they envisioned must have justice at the foundation if it was going to survive the rigors of civilization. And that's why they established justice as the moral rule of law. And in order to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, they drew up a document that would provide the nation with the means to accomplish those things. A document that, as a way of safeguarding the nation's honor and earning the respect of nations, called for the observation of justice and the cultivation of peace by indulging in no passions that trespass on the rights or the repose of other nations. From its inception, the Constitution was fused with sanctity and later made hollow by the sacrifice of countless men and women who have ratified its articles with their blood. George Washington called it a sacred obligatory upon all. It wasn't perfect. Even in its admiration of justice, the Constitution was a monumental moral failure in its sanction of slavery. But justice, thrown off stride, will right itself. And of all the great documents in the history of civilization, the Constitution contains within itself a provision for its own amendment. And in 1865, with the 13th Amendment, the Constitution extended those blessings of liberty to Black Americans. The framers of the Constitution were men of experience. Their history taught them where the follies and the failures were, what roads to avoid. They had seen the hand of tyranny and felt the yoke of oppression. It was a vivid memory, not some medieval distant time. The mark was still upon their neck when they wrote those words. And recognizing the inherent contradictions, they said, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And today, in 2004, both in policy and practice, the line between church and state has become increasingly blurred. Even when we have vivid examples of the dangers to freedom of choice and the tyranny that occurs when the state becomes fettered with the demands and obligation of religious beliefs and practices. To allow the wall between church and state to erode would be a violation of the blood and sacrifice of those men and women whose perseverance and tenacity have gotten us this far. In their wisdom, and because of their love of freedom, the framers of the Constitution amended its articles to include the right to free speech. Our Constitution gives me the right to stand here and shout, "The king is a fool!" without fear of reprisal, without fear of being jailed, without fear of losing my job, without fear of my neighbor's pitchforks. Without free speech, you are bound and gagged, suffocated by the dictates of government, without recourse to the expression of grievance, and the cry of liberty is reduced to surreptitious whispers and dark alley intrigue. The Constitution guarantees equal protection under the law for all citizens, rich, poor, black, white, men, women, gay, straight, equal protection for all citizens. No matter your race, your gender, your financial status, or your sexual preference, your rights under the Constitution are not abridged. As Americans, we are guaranteed life, liberty, and unless it is injurious to the life or limb of your fellow citizens, how you choose to pursue your happiness is not anyone's business, not your neighbors or the government. The government doesn't belong in the bedroom. Wise and revolutionary in its principles, the Constitution not only guarantees equal protection under the law for all citizens, it charges the citizens themselves with maintaining it. Sovereignty does not rest with the government. In the United States, sovereignty rests with the people. It is in your hands. What kind of country are you going to have? Are you going to have rule of law or rule of men? It's your choice. You get to decide. It's your country, your house. You have to cut the lawn. You have to fix the roof. And you can make any choice you want. But understand how we got here. Understand what has kept us thus far willingly shouldering the burden of liberty as we bask in its blessings. You must be ever vigilant to the tenets and principles of the Constitution. Vigilance is a duty. It is the duty that comes with your inheritance. Today, we are engaged in a war against terrorism. And it is a war that must be fought, and anything less than victory is unthinkable and unacceptable. But the war against poverty, and the war against injustice goes a long way to winning the war against terrorism. To wage one without waging the other is folly and is doomed to failure. To win one makes the other unnecessary. But we must not underestimate our enemies. They are not mad, bloodthirsty fanatics who exist only to kill. They are intelligent men who believe that they have valid political agendas, and we ignore that at our peril. Indiscriminate attacks that result in the death of innocent civilians is an abomination to all. It is a blight on and an affront to peace and human dignity, and soils the hands of all of its perpetrators. War is barbaric, and its cost is devastating. In the words of Dwight D. Eisenhower, every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and are not housed. This world in arms is not spending money alone. It is spending the sweat of its laborers, the genius of his scientists, the houses of his children. That is Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, soldier Dwight D. Eisenhower, who knew and saw the horrors of war firsthand, who knew and understood that war ravages more than the cities and the countryside. It ravages the spirit. It steals from its grace and vigor. It diminishes all of humanity. War is insane conduct. It is the property of madmen. It strips us of our intelligence. It kills, it maims, and it dishonors human life. I know some of you don't want to hear this. I know some of you don't want to hear this, not today, not on your day of celebration. But if the trumpet makes an uncertain sound, who can prepare for the battle? In American society, we sometimes create an illusion rather than to face the harsh and uncompromising truths about ourselves. I'm reminded of some hotels in which, because of the superstition associated with the number 13, the floors go from 12 to 14, thereby creating an illusion that there is no 13th floor. But we all know that the floor above 12, whatever you call it, is the 13th floor. We create these illusions rather than to face the truths about our society, because to face these truths is to accept the responsibility for them, and to accept the responsibility is to admit our failures and the struggles toward the ideals of the Founding Fathers. But an honest struggle is part and parcel of the redemptive fire of enlightenment of which we are all heirs. It is we who are at the crossroads. This is the history that we are making each and every day. Millions of children, born and unborn, will travel roads that we have hacked out of the underbrush of the events of 9/11. It is we who decide whether their tools to a productive life will be meager or sufficient to the prodigious task ahead of them. It takes great courage to stride on the battlefield, to struggle on the moral high ground that our forefathers claimed and conquered. We cannot abandon it. We cannot allow the values that were developed by generations of American values that were tested and proven on the battlefield to be scattered like so much cotton in the wind. You are either going to have civil liberties as defined and guaranteed by the Constitution, or you're not. You can't have some and not others. You cannot be ambiguous about the Constitution. You cannot assault its articles in the name of patriotism. No matter how dire the circumstance, it is in the darkest of circumstance that the Constitution is the pillar of strength, the unshakable rock upon which this country stands. Brave and courageous men have given their lives that it not be torn asunder. And because of them, you sit here today, secure in the freedoms that are its backbone. Their lives given in the service of its principles cannot be dismissed. You cannot sully the Constitution in the name of patriotism. It is un-American. This country was born out of dissent. Dissent is an American virtue, and it cannot be allowed to be driven underground. My country, right or wrong, leads to some dark places. It has to be my country, the America whose moral center has been the beacon of hope for the world's humanity for over 200 years. It has to be my country, the America who cares about whether it's right or wrong. The America whose very foundation is its aspiration to the highest of human ideals. You are responsible for the world in which you live. The responsibility does not belong to the government, the church, your social clubs, or your schools. It is yours and mine. You cannot outsource responsibility, just like you cannot prioritize justice. We are responsible for the world in which we live. We are responsible for the lives we lead, their conduct and their content. And we owe a responsibility to those ideals of the Founding Father. We can fake it. We can pretend. We still owe the responsibility. Look around you. Everywhere you see systems of commerce and transportation, systems of law and government, systems of communication and finance and agriculture. You didn't build any of it. You are reaping the harvest. You are heirs to all of it, to all of our history, the glorious and the shameful. But it does not come free. It comes with rights and responsibilities to preserve, protect, and defend. It comes with a duty to vigilance. And the price you pay is your lives. Your lives lived in the ennobling aspiration to a higher truth, to a sterling way of living life on this planet, having been gifted with the triumphs and failures, the enlightenment and learned experience of countless generations. The future belongs to you. My generation is moving off the stage, and your education has prepared you for the task ahead of you. I say to you, do not squander your inheritance. It is too precious a gift. Too great a price has been paid for it. In the remarkable light of liberty, your ancestors gave voice and vent to the greatest of American virtues, They are left in your care. Treasure them. Build beautiful cities, but build systems of justice. Uphold the principles of the Constitution. Have equal protection under the law. In those corridors of power and influence that you will soon walk, the greatest of gifts is faith. And our nation's greatest expression of that faith is the Constitution of the United States. The time is now. The struggle continues. Thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to present the various degrees to all candidates. The audience is requested to remain in their seats until the conclusion of today's ceremony. Candidates for the doctor's degree in the School of Medicine will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Assistant Dean Carol McLaren.
Mr. President, it is an honor to present to you a list of the 172 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. I recommend that all of those who have successfully completed the school's requirement be awarded their doctoral degrees. Last Saturday, we honored these graduates with a special ceremony, and now most have moved on to their residency training in hospitals across the country. Those medical graduates who are here today will come forward with the other doctoral candidates.
Candidates for doctor's degree in the School of Dentistry will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Martha Somerman.
Mr. President, it is a pleasure and an honor to present the 51 doctoral candidates from the School of Dentistry. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements be awarded their doctoral degrees. These graduates were honored in a ceremony last Saturday.
Candidates for Juris Doctor degrees in the School of Law, Mr. President, will be presented to you by Associate Dean Patricia Kuzler.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Faculty of Law, I have the honor to present the 177 candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor, with the recommendation that each who has fulfilled the requirements be awarded that degree. Ceremonies to honor these candidates will be held tomorrow, and the law graduates who are participating in the ceremony today should please come forward with the other doctoral candidates.
Candidates for Doctor of Pharmacy degrees in the School of Pharmacy will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Associate Dean Stanley Weber.
Mr. President, it is an honor to present to you the list of 86 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the School of Pharmacy be awarded their doctoral degrees. These graduates were honored previously last night, and the Doctor of Pharmacy candidates will please come forward with the other doctoral candidates.
On behalf of the Board of Regents and the faculties of the respective schools, I am pleased to confer upon these candidates the degree of Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Dental Surgery, Juris Doctor, or Doctor of Pharmacy.
All other candidates for doctoral degrees will be presented by Acting Dean Elizabeth Feetham of the Graduate School.
Mr. President, here with us today are candidates who have completed all the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, or Doctor of Musical Arts. I request them to rise. Mr. President, on behalf of the deans of the schools and colleges and of the graduate faculty, I am pleased and honored to present these candidates for the highest degrees awarded by the university. The names of those awarded doctoral degrees this year are listed in the commencement program, along with the titles of their dissertations and the names of their faculty supervisors. I recommend that these candidates be awarded their respective doctoral degrees.
On behalf of the Board of Regents and the graduate faculty, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, or Doctor of Musical Arts. Congratulations. You have achieved high academic distinction, and this university salutes you. You will be presented today with a memento of this graduation exercise. Please come forward.
Sharon Beth Ashman, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology.
Wen Chun Liao, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Katja Borchet, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology.
Angela Chia Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Lara Audrine Turian, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Ya Mei Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Emily Warner Clemens, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Sarintip Chawapan, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Noah Malmstadt, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Xu Fang Se, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Graham W. Lufkin, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics.
Sally O'Neill, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Khan Wasiuddin Mahmood, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics.
Sandra Negus Jolly, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Seth Van Loo, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics.
Cynthia Jean Price, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Justin Sharp, Doctor of Philosophy, Atmospheric Sciences.
Sandra K. Johnston, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Clarice Marie Messmer, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Christine Ann Stevens, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Guan Hui Li, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Kimberly Ann McKernan, Doctor of Philosophy, Nursing.
Barbara Jean Best, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Renee Watling, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Tanya Nicole Wanchek, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Jae Wook Park, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Ho Jin Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Carl David Westby, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Halil Evran Damar, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Wei Shu Law, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Aaron Finkel, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Hussein Zareh, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Tamaki Maeda, Doctor of Philosophy, Art History.
Xiaoyong Li, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Karen L. Mudlansky, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Eileen Sumi Sun, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Pathobiology.
Dolores Ann Hungerford, Doctor of Musical Arts, Woodwinds.
Jongjin Park, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
Christine Ann Woolley, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Marie Lu Gilly, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
Nicole Marie Marola, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Pamela Faulkner Robert, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Justine Isabel Barda, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Tracy Lynn Koski, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Melissa Diane Mead, Doctor of Philosophy, Communication.
Brett E. Shelton, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Tom E. Dykstra, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Robin Jean D'Angelo, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Ling Yan Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Ozlem Sensoy, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Nicholas W. Heyman, Doctor of Philosophy, Geological Sciences.
Anita Lenges, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum Instruction.
Amy Michelle Gaffney, Doctor of Philosophy, Geological Sciences.
Cheng Fang Wong, Doctor of Education, Curriculum and Instruction.
Erin Christine Pettit, Doctor of Philosophy, Geophysics.
Li Wei Lei, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Glenn S. Wallace, Doctor of Philosophy, Geological Sciences.
Inte Kang, Doctor of Philosophy and Electrical Engineering.
Nathan Isaac Chudas, Doctor of Philosophy, Geological Sciences.
Taek Kim, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Anne Junko Hiramine, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Ki Sung Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Heather Umberhocker Price, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Chong Chun April Gu, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Parakit Ricky Sinha, Doctor of Philosophy, Atmospheric Sciences.
Denise Lynn Schilling, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Amanda E. Sinha, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Marie Michelle Martin, Doctor of Philosophy, Environmental Health, Industrial Hygiene.
Jennifer Lynn Seymour, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Sebastian Hanus, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Biostatistics.
Nicolina Babich, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Jonathan Scott Schildkraut, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Biostatistics.
Eric Allen Sierstad, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Li Hong Chi, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Biostatistics.
Colin Duffy Costin, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Shengli Shi, Doctor of Philosophy, Toxicology.
Diane Lee Dearmont, Doctor of Philosophy, Romance, Languages, and Literature.
Suzanne Mendendur, Doctor of Philosophy, Oceanography.
Elizabeth Escobedo, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Satoshi Mitarai, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
David Andrew Biggs, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Lori Ann Whitecop, Doctor of Philosophy, Aquatic and Fishery Sciences.
Antonio Leonardo Cimino, Doctor of Musical Arts, Woodwinds.
Susan Gale Speckman, Doctor of Philosophy, Aquatic and Fishery Sciences.
Matthew Stephen Steele, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Jody Louisa Browner, Doctor of Philosophy, Aquatic and Fishery Sciences.
Robert Elliott Copro, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Koji Kojima, Doctor of Philosophy, Business Administration.
Brian Douglas Tilt, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Matthew Ray Richardson, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Emily Lena Jones, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
David Wei Shu, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Stephanie Michelle Berry, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Eric Nathan V., Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Stephen Murray Morris, Doctor of Philosophy, Music History.
Jeffrey Richard Hightower, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Rebecca Hahn, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Rachel Amanda Pottinger, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Jason Richard Swanson, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Stephen Andrew Wolfman, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Sona Zaveri, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Neil Timothy Spring, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
David A. Maxwell, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Jonathan Shade, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Jane Shan Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Daniel Nicholas Wood, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Pang Ki Kim, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics.
Thomas Aaron Graham, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Structure.
Jin Young Bae, Doctor of Musical Arts, Organ.
Yi Xing, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Structure.
Scott Eric Lemieux, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science.
Mary Louise Biggs, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology.
James Shannon Pete, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography.
Tu Lin Zhang, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology.
Ala Moshiri, Doctor of Philosophy, Neurobiology and Behavior.
Kerwin Wang, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Stuart Brian Mitchell, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Xiaorong Sheng, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Lisa Marie Weister, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Lei Xiao, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Melvin P. Thatcher, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Jing Zhu, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Leonard Sheldon Fifield, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Nanotechnology.
Stephen Thomas Minch, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Robert David Nielsen, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Kellyanne Fitzgerald, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Eamon S. Emeka, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology.
John Whitaker, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Y. Kung Chung, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology.
Ebony P. Williams, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Janine K. Gwen G., Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology.
John Francis Timmerman, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Christopher Lau, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Thomas Nan, Doctor of Philosophy, Pathology.
Matthew Frederick Bruce, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Gabrielle Mercedes Karinga, Doctor of Philosophy, Pathology.
Vesna Zderich, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering.
Rachel Marie Gonzalez, Doctor of Philosophy, Pathology.
Kumiko Tanya Boyke, Doctor of Philosophy, Speech and Hearing Sciences.
Richard Irwin Person, Doctor of Philosophy, Pathology.
Lori Jennifer Leibold, Doctor of Philosophy, Speech and Hearing Sciences.
Jingfeng Guang, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Estelle Klasner Nimni, Doctor of Philosophy, Speech and Hearing Sciences.
Birkin Tok Tash, Doctor of Philosophy, Industrial Engineering.
Joanna Christine Surgener, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography.
Chuan Zhou, Doctor of Philosophy, Biostatistics.
Meredith Adrian Reitman, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography.
Earl Eugene Martin, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies.
James Robin Hugel, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Gregory Stephen Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Sean Fidalgo Coco, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Mark L. Chang, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Dean William Bennett, Doctor of Philosophy, History.
Sean A. Phillips, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Ping Hung Cho, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics.
Stephen J. Limmer, Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science and Engineering.
Martin James Fox, Doctor of Philosophy, Forest Engineering and Hydrology.
Hasnau Raymond Ramey, Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science and Engineering.
Stephanie Ann Bowman, Doctor of Philosophy, Ecosystems Analysis.
Mandana Vese, Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science and Engineering, Nanotechnology.
Luisa Buchmann, Doctor of Philosophy, Astronomy.
Hansen Kwok Fong, Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science and Engineering.
Anne Elizabeth Edwards, Doctor of Philosophy, Zoology.
Kambiz Rahimi, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Sarah L. Sterling, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Raymond Peter Golingo, Doctor of Philosophy, Aeronautics and Astronautics.
Renata Fava Dit, Doctor of Philosophy, Biology.
Anawat Pangpan Watana, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
David Hu Tran, Doctor of Philosophy, Genetics.
Winyu Chintamat, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Victor Roland Holtkamp, Doctor of Philosophy, Theater History and Criticism.
Kenneth Edward Dick, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Eric Joseph Shad, Doctor of Philosophy, Comparative Literature.
Sandra L. Caldwell, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Chung Tin Cody Kwok, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Claudia Olmsted, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Adnan Ali Hosnain, Doctor of Philosophy, Urban Design and Planning.
Yang Liu, Doctor of Philosophy, Business Administration.
Chan Nam Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Urban Design and Planning.
John Tzu, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
James Cody Walker, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Ying Chi, Doctor of Medicine.
Veronica Maria Browning, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Ying Ying Guo, Doctor of Philosophy, Environmental Health, Environmental Toxicology.
Joshua Kelly McBee, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Yin Jae Tang, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering.
Bethany Page Nyholm, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Shiwei Tsai, Doctor of Philosophy, Oral Biology.
Monica Rani Sekaran, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Richard Joseph Jervik, Doctor of Philosophy, Oral Biology.
Emily Jean Borda, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry.
Mark Thomas Drangsholt, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology.
Chia Shan Yang, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance.
Brad Ching Chow Wu, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Michelle Chung, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance.
Yun Sun Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Li Ting Ho, Doctor of Philosophy, Communication.
Jeffrey J. Weinshank, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Hidayeki Onishi, Doctor of Philosophy, Musical Theory.
Sriram Narayanam, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Sarah Ellen Bahauddin, Doctor of Musical Arts, Woodwinds.
Lisa Ann Walter, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacology.
Hei-Won Chung, Doctor of Musical Arts, Choral Conducting.
Guan Bin Xing, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Timothy Stephen Hughes, Doctor of Philosophy, Music Theory.
Wanning Niu, Doctor of Philosophy.
Salji Sophia, Doctor of Musical Arts, Composition.
Man Wan Shen, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Margaret A. Hobart, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science.
Bo Wan, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Denis Ferida Eridzilmaz, Doctor of Philosophy, Biology.
Justin Toshiyuki Goshi, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering.
Tamiko Fiona Nimura, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Jan Patrick Medlock, Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Mathematics.
Brooke Allison Stafford, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Sarah Elaine Hewitt, Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Mathematics.
Yun Ho Yang, Doctor of Musical Arts, Choral Conducting.
Edward D. Farnham, Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Mathematics.
Yung Do Yun, Doctor of Philosophy, Linguistics.
Victoria Regine Tatiana Shu, Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Mathematics.
Donna Bosworth Andrews, Doctor of Philosophy, Linguistics.
Kara Moskowitz, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Setsuko Shurai, Doctor of Philosophy, Linguistics.
Bill Montgomery Chenault, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Susanna Vera Levy, Doctor of Philosophy, Linguistics.
Thomas Victor Powers, Doctor of Philosophy, Education.
Emily Catherine Jean Curtis, Doctor of Philosophy, Linguistics.
Hao Li, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Heidi Gail Parker, Doctor of Philosophy, Molecular and Cellular Biology.
Zhang Liu, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering.
Jane Ann Reese, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Scott Beers, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction.
Mary Catherine Schenk, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology.
Courtney Beers, Doctor of Philosophy, Immunology.
Miguel Angel Bocanegra, Juris Doctor.
Audrey Rhoda Siemens, Doctor of Philosophy, Molecular Biotechnology.
Ji Young Byun, Juris Doctor.
Antoine Luc Perchelet, Doctor of Philosophy, Immunology.
Randall Allen Cantrell, Forest Products Marketing, Doctor of Philosophy.
Benjamin N. Gantner, Doctor of Philosophy, Immunology.
David Charles Fulmer, Doctor of Musical Arts, Instrumental Conducting.
Sigai W. Abraha, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Ori Belkind, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy.
Daniel Dang, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Stephen Hansen, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy.
Jihei Kim, Doctor of Pharmacy.
David Mitsuo Nixon, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy.
Diane May Cadiz, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Catherine Kristen Intiman, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy.
Hyacinth Cordon Yu, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Elena Britt Olson, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Sani Myan Ishak, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Heather Clark Easterling, Doctor of Philosophy, English.
Gwen Maria Liu, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Melissa Louise Gelstad, Doctor of Philosophy, Scandinavian Language and Literature, Theory and Criticism.
Candidates for master's degrees will be presented by Dean Feetham of the Graduate School.
Candidates for the various master's degrees will please rise as their degrees are named and then remain standing. Master of Arts. Master of Arts for Teachers. Master of Arts in International Studies. Master of Communications, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Music, Master of Science in Medicinal Chemistry, Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Master of Science in Pharmaceutics, Master of Laws in Taxation, Master of Aerospace Engineering, Master of Engineering, Master of Medical Engineering, Master of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics, Master of Science in Bioengineering, Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Master of Science in Engineering, Master of Science in Industrial Engineering, Master of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Master of Science in Technical Communication, Master of Forest Resources, Master of Environmental Horticulture, Master of Library and Information Science, Master of Science in Information Management, Master of Science in Information Systems, Master of Business Administration, Master of Professional Accounting, Master of Marine Affairs, Master of Nursing, Master of Science in Dentistry, Master of Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Science in Architecture, Master of Science in Construction Management, Master of Urban Planning, Master of Strategic Planning for Critical Infrastructure, Master of Occupational Therapy, Master of Physical Therapy, Master of Rehabilitation Medicine, Master of Social Work, Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health. Mr. President, I would like to introduce Dean Patricia Wasley of the College of Education, who will introduce the candidates from that school.
Candidates for the degree of Master in Education and Master in Teaching will please rise with the other candidates.
Mr. President, I would like to introduce Dean Sandra Archibald of the Daniel J. Evans School of Public Affairs, who will introduce the candidates from that school.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Public Administration in the Daniel J. Evans School of Public Affairs will please rise with the other master's candidates.
Mr. President, on behalf of the deans of the schools and colleges and of the graduate faculty, I am pleased and honored to present these candidates to receive their respective master's degrees.
On behalf of the regents and of the graduate faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your master's degree. Congratulations. You will be presented today with a memento of this graduation exercise. Please come forward.
Mr. President, candidates for bachelor's degrees in the various colleges and schools of the university will be presented to you by the several deans. The candidates who have been accepted by the general faculty of the university for their respective degrees are listed in the commencement program. Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean David Hodge.
Will the proud candidates of the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science, and recommend that all who have fulfilled the qualifications of the College of Arts and Sciences be awarded their bachelor's degrees.
Please be seated. Bachelor's candidates from the College of Engineering, Mr. President, will be presented to you by Dean Denise Denton.
Will the candidates from the College of Engineering please rise? It gives me great pleasure, Mr. President, to present these candidates to the College of Engineering for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical and Astronautical, Chemical, Civil and Environmental, Computer, Electrical, Industrial and Mechanical Engineering, Bioengineering, Materials Science and Engineering, and Technical Communication. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the College of Engineering be awarded their bachelor's degrees. Candidates will please be seated.
Candidates from the College of Forest Resources will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Bruce Baer.
Candidates from the College of Forest Resources, please rise. Mr. President, it is my pleasure and honor to present these candidates for their bachelor's degrees in forest resources and recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the College of Forest Resources be awarded their respective bachelor's degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Bachelor candidates from the Information School, Mr. President, will be presented to you by Dean Michael B. Eisenberg.
Candidates from the Information School, please rise. On behalf of the faculty of the Information School, Mr. President, it gives me great pleasure to present the candidates of the Information School for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Informatics. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the Information School be granted their bachelor's degrees. Will the candidates please be seated?
Mr. President, bachelor's candidates from the Business School will be presented to you by Associate Dean Roland Pete Dukes.
The candidates from the Business School will please rise. I see them already there. Mr. President, it is with much pleasure that I present these exceptionally well-prepared candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Business School and recommend all who have fulfilled the requirements of the Business School be awarded their respective degrees. Candidates will please be seated. Thank you.
Bachelor's candidates from the College of Ocean and Fishery Sciences, Mr. President, will be presented to you by Dean Arthur Noel.
Will the candidates from the College of Ocean and Fisheries Sciences please rise? It gives me great pleasure, Mr. President, to present these candidates for bachelor's degrees in Oceanography and Aquatic and Fisheries Sciences, and I recommend that all who have fulfilled the baccalaureate requirements of the college be awarded their respective degrees. Will the candidates please be seated?
Bachelor's candidates from the School of Nursing will be presented, Mr. President, by Dean Nancy Woods.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the top-ranked school in the nation please rise? Mr. President, it is my honor to present these candidates to you and to recommend that all those who have earned the degree be awarded it. Thank you.
Please be seated. Bachelor's candidates from the School of Dentistry will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Sommerman.
Will the candidates from the School of Dentistry please rise? Mr. President, it is my pleasure and honor to present a list of candidates for the degree of Bachelor in Science and Dental Hygiene. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements be awarded their degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Bachelor candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Planning will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Robert Mugerauer.
Will the candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Planning please rise? All right. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates for bachelor degrees in architecture, urban planning, landscape architecture, construction management, and community and environmental planning, and recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the College of Architecture and Urban Planning be awarded their respective bachelor degrees. Will the candidates please be seated?
Bachelor candidates from the School of Medicine will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Assistant Dean McLaren.
Will the bachelor candidates from the School of Medicine please rise? Where are you? Yes. Mr. President, it is a privilege to present these bachelor candidates from the School of Medicine in the specialized fields of physical therapy, occupational therapy, medical technology, prosthetics and orthotics, and the physician assistants from the Northwest Medics program. I recommend that those who fulfill the degree be awarded their bachelor's degree. Many degrees are being given in absentia because the candidates have already received jobs and have moved to them. Thank you. Candidates may be seated.
Candidates from the School of Social Work will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Dorothy Van-Host.
The candidates from the number 3 School of Social Work will please rise. Mr. President, on behalf of the social work faculty, it is my privilege to present these candidates for their bachelor's degrees in social welfare and recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements of the School of Social Work be awarded their respective bachelor's degrees. Candidates will please be seated.
Candidates from the School of Public Health and Community Medicine will be presented to you, Mr. President, by Dean Patricia Wall.
Will the candidates from the School of Public Health and Community Medicine please rise? Mr. President, it is with great pleasure I present these candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Public Health. I recommend that all who fulfill their requirements be awarded their respective degrees. Candidates may please be seated.
All bachelor candidates from all schools and colleges just presented will please rise. Following President Huntsman's citation awarding the various bachelor's degrees, all candidates will be seated immediately and under the direction of faculty marshals will await their turn to come forward one row at a time.
On behalf of the Regents and the faculty of the university, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your bachelor's degree. Your university is very proud of you. Congratulations. May I now ask each of you to be seated and await your turn to come forward.
The audience will now please rise for the singing of the Alma Mater, led by Amy Payden from the School of Music. The words are printed on the inside of the back cover of the commencement program.
To her we sing, who keeps the ward o'er all her sons from sea to sea. Our alma mater, Washington, a health we give to thee. Child of the mighty western land, you're the mother of a mighty place. Silent her gentle vigil holds in strength, purity, and grace. All hail, O Washington, thy sons and daughters sing glad acclaim through years of youth and loyalty, and still in age we sing thy fame. In honor thy towers stand, thy battlements shine in dawning light, and glow again in sunset rays. All hail, O Washington!
The audience and members of the graduating class are requested to remain at their seats until the recessional of the faculty is concluded. The graduating class is then free to join family and friends. The 129th commencement exercises of the University of Washington are now closed.